This is Lewis Art for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and William Hill. Delighted to be joined with Fran Hennessy. The pro debut is 30th of September. We're here at the Falls Gym in Orpington. How are we? How's things?
I'm all good, raring to go at the minute.
I can imagine it's the pro debut is fast approaching. It's something you said to me, you've always dreamed of it, you've always wanted to do it. So how good does it feel to be there and have also, a good platform to show it as well?
Honestly, I'm so excited. As I said, I've been dreaming of this since I was a young girl, and it's finally here as well on the best platform, with the best promotion. What more could you want? I'm so excited to be here, yeah.
Absolutely. And for someone like yourself, where fighting is always in your family, you've grown up with it, you've seen it so much with your brother or your dad. Junior was telling me about, it wasn't always the idea to box, and it's probably your dad's worst nightmare, boxing. But when did you sort of realise that, you wanted to box? When was the sort of first times, your first memories?
To be honest, I just always grew up around it, and I always knew I loved it. But at a certain point, I didn't know whether I could box, because obviously women's boxing wasn't as big back then. My mum and dad didn't want me to box, so I had to push that one. But I think about when I was about 9, 10, I realised that I absolutely loved it and I'd want to, pursue it. But it was only till I was about 13 that I was actually allowed to properly box, 12, 13. So.
And turning over pro now, the decision to turn over pro, I know you said to me it was something that you've always wanted to do, but now only being 18, why was now the right time for you?
For me, I've always had a pro style, I'm always sparring pros. I've got the pace, I've got everything a pro style needs. I think me being 18 is actually a great thing. There's no other 18-year-olds that I'm aware of that have turned pro in Great Britain. So I think it's the prime time for me to turn pro.
And like you said there, going from amateurs and that, when you said you're only 18 now and you've turned pro, do you think you realise that you might end up, I know you're in no rush, but with there not being much depth in women's boxing, still a long way to go, do you feel like, there might be a chance where you do get pushed quickly, even though you've been sparring top pro since you were 15?
Of course, it's when you say someone when they turn pro later on, they obviously get pushed a bit slower. Where I'm 18, I'll take it slow. Obviously, we're not stupid. We got to take our time to get my experience. But yeah, I'm sure I'll be pushed in that direction a lot quicker. Yeah.
When was there ever a realisation for you that you're going to be a pro boxer, this is going to be a job, and when was that realisation? I know you said since you were young, but when was that actually like a realistic proposition for you?
I'd say when I was about 16, I realised, because I was sparring pros, I was doing well with pros at the age of 16. My dad and my family and my trainers were seeing at the time that I was doing well, and at that time we realised that I had the talent, and that was the career path I wanted to choose. So.
How much beneficial has it been growing up around boxing? Like you said, you're pro now, but you've almost been immersed in the pro game for so many years. From you see the fighting style of it, and you see the business side as well with your dad. So how much do you think that's benefited you?
I think it's benefited me a lot because I know what's to come. Obviously, you can't prepare yourself when you're in the changing room and that. But I've been in and around it. I've been in the changing rooms when fighters are about to fight. I've seen the atmospheres, so I think it's going to benefit me a lot because I think I know what kind of to expect to a certain extent, whereas a lot of other people don't really know what to expect.
And you look now where you talk about the position that women's boxing is in and how much it's thriving. How much inspiration can you take from, even, promotional stable, people like Caroline Dubois, and you see, Katie Taylor, Chantel Cameron, the way that they get pushed, Savannah Marshall, someone that's so close to you. You see how much do they get pushed. How much inspiration can you take from that? And you see when you first started to how it is now.
Oh, honestly, I take so much inspiration. I don't know if I'd be fighting now if it wasn't for Savannah, because she was one of the first female fighters I kind of knew of, who I was in and around, And I saw the way my dad and Peter Fury were with her and how they were looking after her, how they was all working together. And it kind of gave me that, I can do this, it is a thing now. And yeah, Savannah, she's a great person and I've always looked up to her and she's a great fighter.
And another thing, on a personal note, when you are a boxer and you're a girl, growing up, what was it like what was school like for you in a way? Was you always known as the girl, was that your sort of tag in a way?
Yeah, definitely. People would always be asking me about my boxing, but my friends get a bit sick of me talking about it, a bit much. But Yeah, I always, everyone knew I was a boxer and stuff, but I never kind of portray my attitude in that way. I'm just, yeah, I'm quite quiet, you know, I don't like confrontation or anything. But
Did it not make, did people like respect you, like, people gain your respect early on, do you think? Especially sort of maybe within the boys and that.
yeah, definitely. They respected that I'd done it and that I was really committed to it and things. Yeah, but yeah, they know what I'm like. I'm not really that type of, you know.
Absolutely. And you just mentioned there about Savannah. You see her crossing over to MMA now. You see her been in massive fights, you know, headlining all women's cards. You mentioned about how inspirational it is to her, but having a relationship like that where, you know, you have a personal relationship with her. She inspires probably so many other people, but you actually know her as a person, which must be incredible for you.
Honestly, I'm so grateful to be able to have that, you know, that relationship with Savannah. As I said, she's very inspiring to me. You know, she'll give me some advice sometimes, and honestly, I take all of it on board. She's a great person, and you know, I've always been in and around her, sparring her, like not properly, obviously, but when I was younger, like her taking me around, like showing me things. That's one of my best memories. So yeah, it's great to have her around as an inspiration, and I'm very lucky to have that.
Absolutely. And we'll talk about, you know, your brother as well. You're both in camp together. How does that sort of feel, you know? You're making a pro debut. Your brother's, you know, he's in a big, exciting fight. So is that good in a way to sort of you both having aims to work for?
Definitely. We both push each other. We both train hard alongside each other. And I think it's nice, you know, when you're going for them lonely runs, we've got each other next to us, pushing each other. So, yeah, like it's great to have each other in camp.
And he's obviously got a massive fight against Harley, Benn. How much are you looking forward to that? I know you focus on your pro debut, but that's always obviously in the back of your mind as well.
Yeah, you know, I'm having my pro debuts before that so I can relax at his fight and watch that. I'm excited to see him do a job on him, to be honest. He's got a bit personal with family and things like that, which I don't agree with anything like that in this game. You know, it should just be respect, but look, Michael's going to do a job on him, and I'm sure that will put him in his place.
It's absolutely, and you see sort of the personal stuff. He said stuff about your dad, and you know, you can't help but be brought into it as well. You can't help but have an opinion on that. So how do you sort of deal with all them sort of things?
To be honest, I just ignore it. You know, I try not to get involved in that. I know Michael's going to do what he's got to do on the night. But as I said, I respect anyone who gets in the ring, but I don't respect him because he's brought my family into it. It's you don't stoop that low, and he stooped really low. So.
Do you hope to share a card one day?
Yeah, definitely. That's the dream. Both be on a massive card. 100%. I'm not sure my dad will be too happy on the night. It'll be very nerve-wracking for him and my mum. But definitely, mate, imagine that, like a major card, me and Michael both headlining. That would be incredible.
Absolutely. Fran, just want to say thank you for your time for letting me come down to the gym and speak. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Look forward to the pro debut. So thank you for that. Cheers. Thank you.